Hello friends and welcome to Picturesology, to the series of planets through various houses. Today we will talk about one of the most misunderstood position of Sun. That is Sun in the third house for a Leo Ascendant horoscope. And it is misunderstood for two reasons. One, Sun is in the sign of Libra, and Libra is considered the debilitation sign of Sun. So the very first reaction of people when they see any debilitated planet is that they get scared and they start predicting all kind of negative things about things related to that planet. And secondly, when you have Leo Ascendant, which is sign number 5, Sun becomes the lord of the ascendant, and that is one of the most important planet. So when lord of the ascendant becomes debilitated, people get double scared, and because of this there are many misconceptions, many wrong notions associated with this placement of Sun, because this placement of Sun can actually give you many positive results, and those results may not require a cancellation of debility. That is also known as Neech Bhanga Yoga. So even if you don't have a Neech Bhanga Yoga of this Sun here, still you can expect to benefit from many great qualities which this Sun imparts, and we will look into those. We will also see the areas which may be of concerns because of the debilitation and what could be its impact and remedies. So we have a Leo Ascendant horoscope. That means the sign of number 5 or Leo is the first house or rising in this chart. And the Lord of Leo is Sun, which is situated in its debilitated position of Libra, which is the 7th sign in the 3rd house. So with this placement, the first house matters, which are related to your mental and physical personality. And as you know, Ascendant is the most important reference point in the entire horoscope. It pretty much determines the quality of your life. So the first house matters will be directly impacted by this placement. Sun is placed in the 3rd house, which is an all-important house which shows your communication, your courage, your initiative-taking skills, your siblings. So those areas are affected by this Sun here. According to Vedic Astrology, Sun will have an aspect on the 7th from its own placement. So which means it will have an aspect on the 9th house, which among other things shows your luck or how easy your life could be. And Sun is the natural significator of your father. It is the natural significator of your fame or the high position you may achieve in life. So all these areas of life will be affected directly with this placement. So for the quick reference, I have listed them here, and we will look into each of the areas one by one. So let's start by analyzing the first house, which shows your personality. Now, many people think that because Sun is debilitated, it is actually very bad for your ascendant and for your life. But this is not exactly so. And let's understand why. See, without thinking about exaltation, debilitation, let's first see the sign of Libra. The sign of Libra is owned by Venus, and that is a very artistic sign. Venus is a planet of love. It is not an extremist sign in any case. So what does this debilitation really means? See, Sun is the center of our zodiac or center of our solar system or universe, and it is supposed to be really fixed. You cannot be a center of anything unless you yourself are really strong, rigid and fixed. But the Sun in the sign of Libra, which actually shows a scale. Scale sometimes goes left, sometimes goes right. So what happens is, when you have Sun in this fluctuating sign, people or personality with this placement is not rigid, is not fixed. Now, in other words, this will be reflected in every trait of their life. So for example, if Sun is really strong, person will have some really strong principles on which he or she will never compromise. Now, Sun in Venus sign or Sun in Libra especially, take that rigidity away and the person becomes very adjustable or even little bit wily with his principles. So let's take an example. Say if you are a politician who has an exalted Sun, then you will have some very fixed principles on which you will always abide. Or in other words, you could be a very devoted left-wing politician or a very devoted right-wing politician. You will have an ideological leaning which will be fixed and you will not compromise with these ideology. But if you are a politician with debilitated Sun, then you will not have a clear ideological leanings. You will be really flexible. You will join any party which suits your personal interest. Your own well-being, your self-interest will take precedence instead of your ideological leanings. So Sun in Libra, many people would say it's debilitated and start predicting gloom and doom with this placement, but it is actually not. It actually gives a leaning which, a person who is more self-inclined, he is flexible with his principles. And it is also because Libra is ruled by Venus, and Venus is the sign of or the planet of pleasures. And when your core, your soul signifying planet Sun is in the sign of Venus, you want your interest to be protected at all cost. You don't care about ideologies or principles as such, as long as your interests are protected. And it is also one of the reasons why Sun in Libra people, they make good artists, because artists generally don't have strong principles. They are more concerned about their own work, and we'll see some more examples like this. But the point here to understand is that Sun in Libra, as far as physical felicity or your own personal happiness is concerned, is not a bad placement at all. There are some negative aspects of it, and we will see them in next few minutes. But it is not that, if your ascendant, especially here when Leo ascendant has the ascendant planet as Sun, which is in the sign of Libra, it is not bad for your personal enjoyment. This placement is known to give a life which is full of personal gratification. People with this placement, they actually do very well in life. They earn good money. When I say do very well in life, I mean for themselves and for their own family, they would do very well. It could be a little bit troublesome indicator for your father or father-like figures in life. However, depending upon the influences on the 10th house, which is the house of your father, and the lord of this, which is Venus, it could mean that your father travels a lot and will have to stay away from family because of his official commitments. It could even mean that a father who has to, stay abroad and away from family for long duration of times. And it could mean some kind of physical issues also with the father, but that mostly depends on the benefic or negative influences on the 10th house and 10th house lord. Now, third house is also the house which shows your own efforts. It is called the house of courage. And Sun here definitely indicates that you will be a self-made person. People with this placement tend to derive very less benefit from their father's money. They make their own destiny, and even if when they get some kind of inheritance from the father's side, that is possible if the 9th house and 10th house are really strong. Even in those cases, they mostly give that money or even their share of money to their siblings. They generally don't either get benefit from the ancestral property, or even when they do, they give it away in most cases to their siblings. Now, third house is also the house of communication. It shows all kind of communication methodology apart from your own personal speaking abilities. So this is the house which shows radio, especially so because there is Libra in this house, and Libra is the sign ruled by Venus, and Venus rule all kind of arts, entertainment. So people who, in today's world, many people who are RJs or radio jockey or even voice over artists who, give their voice to different animation, or people who are good speakers at functions, they have this kind of placement. Many people nowadays, with even video jockeys, who rely a lot on their speech and speaking abilities, they have this kind of Sun in Libra placement in the third house. In any case, depending upon the 10th house and Venus, whatever occupation these people get into, they tend to have, voice, the way they speak, the communication is one of the key areas which they use in their work life. And given that Venus sign is already strong, suppose 10th house lord, which is also Venus, if that is well placed somewhere in, related to 5th or 11th, then even the movie industry, any kind of art form, singing or dancing or actors, they tend to have this kind of placement of Sun in Libra. And having a debilitated Sun actually helps them in all these professions. So this was my quick analysis of Sun in Libra for a Leo Ascendant horoscope. I hope you liked the explanation. Please do like and subscribe to my channel for more such videos. Thank you for watching and see you again soon. Bye bye.